Hello everybody, welcome to the Real World Prepper, and it's a beautiful, wonderful day. My wife is mowing the grass and twigs. You hear that? So listen, today we're going to talk about something fun. How to destroy a society in 4 easy steps. Stick around and you'll find out how. P.S. It's through subversion and the 4 stages. Here we go. Okay, guys, like I said, we're going to talk about subversion and the 4 stages of subversion and how we have gotten there or are getting there in this country. So, first let me say thanks for subscribing, thanks for being here, thanks for watching. If you're watching and not subscribed, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. I would appreciate it greatly. It means a lot. It supports this channel and helps spread the message. Also, go to my About section. There's an email address if you want to send me a private email. Obviously, you can comment on any of the videos. I encourage that as well. And there's a P.O. box if you want to send physical mail or any gifts or donations. Yes, a shameless plug, and I'm not too ashamed to ask. So, we just need some support. We appreciate it. I'm just glad you're here. All right? So, for those of you that don't know, we're going to talk about the 4 stages of subversion. What subversion is, all right? It refers to a process by which the values and principles of a system in place are contradicted or reversed in an attempt to transform the established social order and its structures of power, authority, hierarchy, and social norms. Familiar at all? And this ringing a bell? Is this not what we're going through in this country right now? This fundamental change that we keep talking about, that I keep talking about, that others keep talking about? This SHTF scenario that is impending from one way or another, and largely people sit on the fence because of subversion, because of these norms, these established, the transformation of the established social order and its structures of power, authority, hierarchy, and social norms. Okay, that's all happening now. So that's a drastic, fundamental change, subversion. So how do we get there? There's 4 stages. How we get there? Let's go over them. All right. Thank you. The first stage of subversion is number 1, demoralization. Demoralization or demoralizing is to deprive a person or persons of spirit, courage, discipline, and to destroy the morale of. Okay? Do we not see that happening right now? Of course we do. Demoralization in everything that we see. I'll give you an example. Child's cartoon on a public television station that my child enjoys, that frankly I don't think we're going to let my child watch anymore, because this has been a sweet show about family values and relationships between friends and family, and for many years, very popular cartoon on this channel. And they just announced that next season they're going to have one of their main characters who, if I'm not mistaken, well, let's just say is an influential character on the show, an adult, that's going to come out as gay and have a whole episode dedicated to gay marriage. Now, from my perspective, and you guys know my perspective if you've been watching this channel, I'm a Christian and I believe I'm conservatively. I mean, everything I do is of that mindset. No, I'm not a bigot. No, I'm not a racist. No, I'm not a homophobe. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? But the fact remains, that's who I am, and I have the right to teach these things to my child. So, demoralization, this is a part of it. This is just one little tiny example I'm using, but you guys can cite thousands of examples, I'm sure. You see it all day long in everything that we do. All right. Stage 2 of subversion is destabilization. These words are pretty much self-explanatory, I'm sure, but the word destabilization can be applied to a wide variety of contexts, such as attempts to undermine political, military, or economic power. In psychological context, which is the root of it all, it is a technique used in essentially brainwashing and abuse in order to disorient and disarm the victim. All right, an example used in this Wikipedia garbage, but a decent example enough, is one of workplace bullying. Okay, so the destabilization applied to the victim in a workplace bullying situation may involve 1, failure to acknowledge good work and value to the victim's efforts, allocation of meaningless tasks, removal of areas of responsibility without consultation. Now think about that one for a second. Removals of area of responsibility. Now how long has that been going on with the welfare state? With the generation, what is it? Whatever the generation is right now. You know, they call it the baby boomers and Generation X and blah, blah, blah. I don't even know. Millennials, that's what it is, millennials. Think about this. Removal of areas of responsibility. What are they responsible for? I mean, what, you know, they want the government to pay, and that's not just millennials, okay, but many people across the board, across the left, certainly millennials, the attitude is inherent in that. But so, that's what we're dealing with, okay? That's where we are, destabilization, okay? I say that's where we are. That's one of the steps, and we see some, and the reason I bring this up, I'm going to get there at the end of the video, ask a question of you guys. So, we see this happening. We see stage 1, demoralization. We see stage 2, destabilization taking place. Repeated reminders of blunders, setting people up to fail, shifting the goalposts without telling the victim, persistent attempts to demoralize the victim. You know, in psychology, there's also a process called cognitive destabilization, which involves being open to conversations and transformations of various kinds. This could be used to counter political destabilization by presenting consensual view of the problems. All right, so you get the idea. Okay, on the list of the 4 stages of subversion, number 3 is crisis. Again, these words are self-explanatory. They should be. Crisis, however, is a time of intense difficulty, trouble, or danger, such as the current economic crisis, for example. Synonyms include catastrophe, calamity, cataclysm, emergency, disaster, etc. Okay, it's a time when a difficult or important decision must be made. You're at a crossroads, you're at a crux, you're at a turning point, you're at the climax. It's a culmination of things. You're at the head of it. It's a 0 hour, okay? 0 dark 30, right? You know, crisis. I mean, we know what crisis is. There's all kinds of ways to define crisis, or all kinds of rather things that we could say in situations that we could point to that are crisis, but we get the idea of what crisis is. So we've got demoralization of a society, destabilization of a society, crisis within the society, the 4 stages of subversion, and number 4 is normalization. Again, a word, you know what it means, right? Normalization. What is normalization? Normalization refers to a process that makes something more normal or regular. Most commonly, and this is per Wikipedia, guys, okay? Wikipedia is part of the problem, right? They're not, I mean, you know, it's got a slant on it. If you guys have ever looked at anything Wikipedia, look up anything Wikipedia that has to do with some specifics from somebody standing on one side of an issue or the other, and you'll see if you didn't already know. So from Wikipedia themselves, most commonly, normalization refers to normalization in a sociology slant, or social normalization, which is the process through which ideas and behaviors that may have fallen before outside of social norms come to be regarded as normal. Okay? There we go. Have we seen this? I mean, do you guys get it? Do you see where I'm going with this? So the fact is that we are in a state of subversion. So we're somewhere along that line. And in some cases, in some arguments, we are only at stage 1, some we're at 2, some we're at 3, some we're already at 4 at normalization. It's done, it's complete. As a whole, as Western society here in the United States, if you go back to when you know, industrialization was booming and capitalism was booming, and families were gaining wealth, and you know, there was a growth and a boom to technology and all these things that were taking place. Where from there, and put that wherever you want, you know, put that in the 50s, put that at the turn of the century, put that wherever you want, put your marker wherever you want, it doesn't matter. From when this society started to now, to where we are now, and more so to when we hit to what we all would say is the SHTF scenario. And every one of you guys has to think about what that is for you, what that means for you. Many people have been in situations like that already. Many are yet to be. But you go from that point, from where we were, what you would consider to be, what I would consider to be, you know, mine may be different from yours, but a working and functional and prosperous society. Take from that and go to subversion and see where we are on the scale. And I don't know. For me personally, I don't know. I believe we're either in crisis or we're already normalized. I think we're somewhere in the middle. I think we're just there in 3 and 4, okay, as a whole in society, because things are changing. You know, right is wrong, up is down. You know, everything is twisted, flipped right upside down. You know, shooting some people outside of the school, blah blah blah. Anyway, just old reference there. I personally can't say where we are, but we are certainly on this path. This path is taking place. It is happening. I mean, all you got to do is turn on the news. All you got to do is look at YouTube videos, current headlines, current events, and you see what's happening. You see the world has gone nuts. You see that people believe as intensely what we believe. And I'm speaking to you guys watching this channel, subscribe to this channel, assuming that you're part of this, that you're on the same page as where I am and you're getting where I'm coming from, where we see people with as much fervor and you know, oomph about them for their misguided ideals, at the very least. That's putting it politely, okay? You know, is it a question of, well, it's their right, you know, and we have the right, and we all have the right? You know, we do, but it certainly is a question that they're wrong, okay? They're just wrong. They're just flat wrong. I'm sorry, but they are, okay? If you're watching and you have a leftist agenda and you agree with all that stuff and you're anti all this, and look, and I'm not like just towing the damn Republican line or anything like that, because it's not even about that. It's about what's right. It's about keeping our society together. It's about keeping the wheels greased, man, and keeping what's right out in the forefront, and being a beacon of light as a country for the rest of the world, and not being this international, part of an international society where we lose sovereignty and we lose all these things that we believe, okay? Countries are different. We're all created different. People are different, you know, geographically and otherwise, okay? So we have the right to want to preserve what we've got, okay? Subversion is going on. Where are we on the step? Are we demoralized? Are we destabilized? Is there a crisis? Or are things just now normalized? Where do you think we are on the scale? Go ahead and please leave it in the comments if you like, and share what you think about it. Me, I'm still kind of on the fence, but as a whole, I believe we're somewhere between 3 and 4, crisis and normalization. But when we hit the point of normalization where society accepts all these things, and those who still believe in right, the few of us that I believe are out there, as much as I hate to say it, it just seems like it's fewer and fewer. At what point do we stand up and make a change? And how do we stand up and make a change? How do we take back control of this country gone wild? This society gone haywire. When and how? I don't know, guys. Share in the comments what you think. I appreciate you being along for the video. I suppose it was just pointing this out and posing the question. I don't have the answers, okay? I'm no expert in any of this stuff. I'm just sharing my views and trying to put some thought in your head, okay? Think about what's going on. Pay attention. Love each other. Love your neighbor. Love the Lord. And come back and see me next time on The Real World Prepper. Thank you. Bye-bye.